If somebody accused you of being an entrepreneur, would they find enough evidence to convict you, or would a good lawyer get you off the hook? Because let's be honest, some people are busy looking busy. When you examine the evidence, there's no real business being built. So how would a jury look at your evidence? Let's have some fun here. Most people believe that if they stay busy, working on logos, websites, social media posts, they're making progress. Feels productive, right? At least they can show something's happening. But here's the truth. Busyness is no evidence of business. Real evidence comes from taking the right actions that actually move the needle. That's what separates pretenders from builders. So let me present my evidence to you. Today, I'm going to give you 3 simple steps that you can take immediately to make sure without a doubt that if somebody accused you of being an entrepreneur, you'd be found guilty as charged. Let me present my evidence to you. My name is Anthony Charles, and on this channel, I make videos on the strategies, tools to help you to turn your knowledge, your ideas, and your skills into real money. I'm here to help you to be more, to do more, and to have more by strengthening your mindset, mastering your people skills, and boosting your productivity. So let's get into it. Exhibit A, take action that makes money, not just motion. Entrepreneurship is proven by results, not effort. You don't get paid for being busy, you get paid for building something that creates income. So instead of spending weeks and weeks on branding, test the idea with paying customers. Before you spend copious amounts of time building websites or dealing with packaging, make sure the thing sells in the first place. If you have a solution, make sure it works and make sure somebody will pay you for it. Example, if you're offering coaching, don't wait to build this website, this all singing and dancing website. Get on a Zoom call with a paying customer and see if they're going to pay for what you're offering. Sales are the hard evidence that the jury are going to be looking for. Without that, evidence becomes circumstantial. But hold on, action without direction will still get you stuck, which leads me to my next real test of entrepreneurship. Let me present to you Exhibit 2. Your plan is your evidence. Entrepreneurs who win, they have a clear plan of action. Not having a clear plan of action is like getting in a car with your friend, they're driving, you've never been to this place before, it's hundreds of miles away, and they've got a sat nav, and they start driving and they'll switch it on. You say to them, do you know the direction? You ever been there before? No, I've never been there before. You know the directions? No. So why don't you use a sat nav? I don't need a sat nav. I'm just gonna go and, I'm gonna feel my way around. See, I've got a good idea, got a good feeling about this. Are you confident that you're going to get to where you're going? No. Having a sat nav and not using it is one of 2 things. Either you don't know how to use a sat nav or the sat nav doesn't work. Either way, you're going to get stuck. If you've got a business and you don't have a clear plan of action, you're going to get stuck. And if you have that plan of action and you're not using it, then either it doesn't work or you just don't know how to use it. Either way, you're going to get stuck. In business, you've got to map out your steps. Who do you serve? What problems do you solve? What niche do you fill? What's your USP? And what's your marketing strategy? That's just to get you started. In my courtroom example, a good plan is like your case file. It shows your intent, it shows your motivation, your direction, your strategy. Without it, they couldn't even begin to bring a case against you. Now, if you're in business and you're struggling with your plan, don't worry, I've got you. Download my 20-point business ready checklist. It will show you exactly where you are in business right now, and it will tell you what's missing and what you need to do next to build that business foundation. If you ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure, the checklist will give you the clarity to know what to fix next. Now, a plan is powerful, but plans and actions without persistence is just paperwork, which brings me to my 3rd piece of evidence. Let me present to you Exhibit 3, consistency builds your case. The strongest evidence for entrepreneurship is persistence, showing up day after day after day, even when the motivation fades. Now, everyone works differently, so as you perform your tasks in your business, you've got to pay attention to what is really working for you. For instance, I'm pretty good in the morning, so that is not the time for me to schedule to start checking emails. That is a time for me to focus on really big tasks where I could put a lot of my energy into it. You've got to organize your time to get the very best of your most productive times during the day. Block out certain times during the day to concentrate on different things. When I started building my schedule, I started out with a blank Google Calendar. The first thing I put in there was all the educational activities for my children. I've got 3 children in education still. One is in college, one is in secondary school, and one is in primary school. So I put that into the calendar, and then I built everything else around that. For instance, there is a time in the day when I script my YouTube videos. There's a time in the day when I film my YouTube videos. There's a time and a day when I edit my YouTube videos. There is a day of the week when I'm doing my webinars. There's a day in the week when I'm looking at my clients' business plans and helping them to move those business plans forward. There's a day of the week when I'm doing my marketing. There's a day of the week when I do my marketing calls, etc., etc. There's a day when I do my social media. The main thing is I've got all the important tasks to do, and I'm not going to be controlled by emails, calls, and messages. Those are sometimes distractions that can really take you away from the important things that you need to do. There's a time when you need to do big tasks, and sometimes a big task comes along and it just wipes out everything that is on the schedule. Now, of course, it doesn't wipe out things like the school run. So that tells me there are things that are pretty immovable. So when there's a big task coming up, sometimes I still have to cut that big task up into smaller pieces so that I can get it done. You have to be consistent. Consistency, it turns small wins into undeniable proof. And consistency builds character. It builds your brand. So if you like this kind of video where I share with you what I've learned through my life experiences and how it determines the decisions I make on a day-to-day basis, and you feel that these tips work for you, then you know what you got to do. You got to like, you got to subscribe, and you got to share. Come on, join the family. Okay, let's wrap this up. If somebody accused you of being an entrepreneur, then the evidence comes down to these things. You got to take money-making action. You have to have a clear plan. You've got to show up consistently, and you've got to build a strong brand. That's the case file that proves that you are not just playing business, you are building one. Remember, success starts in your mind and in your choices. So make the choice today to stack the evidence in your favor that proves you are the real deal. And keep on being amazing, because you are. Feeling good? Want more results like this? Let's keep that momentum going with this video here. Also, click on my head here to subscribe.